Hare Krishna. Everybody can hear me nicely? No?
Maybe lift the mic.
Yeah. This is very close to your mouth.
She likes it big.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're honest. Okay, before we start, we'll start acknowledging of ask the blessings of our lordships and gurus. Om Gyan Tavarandasya Gyananjala Shalakya Chakshurumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuktavadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavascha Shri Guru Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Tam Sajivam Sadhavaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishnutam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopiyakanta Radha Kanta Namaste Ekta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanam Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhishcha Kripa Sindhu Parivacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Gauravani Pracharne Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paschatadeshatarne Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasti Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so today's verse is a very famous verse, and I thought it would be a nice verse to share with all of you, because from what I've seen, I think you're all quite well versed with Bhagavatam, so if you have any realizations, then please share with me as well. So it's Canto 1, Chapter 3, verse 28. Okay, please repeat after me. Ete Jamsha Kalaha Bumsa Ete Jamsha Kalaha Bumsa Krishnas Tu Bhagavan Swayam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Midyanti Yuge Midyanti Yuge Okay, I'll read synonyms. Ete, all these. Ja, and. Amsha, plenary portions. Kalaha, portions of the plenary portions. Bumsa, of the Supreme. Krishnaha, Lord Krishna. Tu, but. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Swayam, in person. Indra Ari, the enemies of Indra. Vyakulam, disturbed. Lokam, all the planets. Midyanti, gives protection. Yuge, in different ages. And translation, all of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Shri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. Now in the purport, His Grace, Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki. In this particular stanza, Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is distinguished from other incarnations. He is counted amongst the avatars, incarnations, because out of his causeless mercy, the Lord descends from his transcendental abode. Avatara means one who descends. All the incarnations of the Lord, including the Lord himself, descend on the different planets of the material world, as also in different species of life, to fulfill particular missions. Sometimes he comes himself, sometimes in different plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions, or differentiated portions directly and indirectly powered by him. Descend on the material world to execute certain specific functions. Originally, the Lord is full of all opulences, or prowess, or fame, or beauty, or knowledge, and all renunciation. When they are partly manifested through the plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions, it should be noted that certain manifestations of the different powers are required for those particular functions. When in the room small electric bulbs are displayed, it does not mean that the electric powerhouse is limited by the small bulbs. The same powerhouse can supply power to operate large-scale industrial dynamo's with greater volts. Similarly, the incarnations of the Lord display limited powers because so much is needed at a particular time. For example, Lord Parashurama and Lord Nrsimha displayed unusual opulence by killing the disobedient Kshatriyas 21 times and killing the greatly powerful atheist Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful that even the demigods in other planets would tremble simply by the unfavorable raising of his eyebrow. The demigods in the high level of material existence many times excel the most well-to-do human beings in duration of life, beauty, wealth, paraphernalia, and in all other respects. Still, they were afraid of Hiranyakashipu. Thus, we can simply imagine how powerful Hiranyakashipu was in this material world. But even Hiranyakashipu was cut into small pieces by the nails of Lord Nrsimha. This means that anyone materially powerful cannot stand the strength of the Lord's nails. Similarly, Chamadagnya displayed the Lord's power to kill all the disobedient kings powerfully situated in their respective states. The Lord's empowered incarnation Narad and plenary incarnation of Varaha, as well as indirectly empowered Lord Buddha, created faith in the mass of people. The incarnations of Rama and Dhanvantari displayed his fame, and Balaram, Mohini, and Vamana exhibited his beauty. Dattatreya, Matsya, Kumara, and Kapila exhibited his transcendental knowledge. Nara and Narayan Rishis exhibited his renunciation. So all the different incarnations of the Lord indirectly or directly manifested different features, but Lord Krishna, the primeval Lord, exhibited the complete features of Godhead, and thus it is confirmed that he is the source of all the incarnations. And the most extraordinary feature exhibited by Lord Sri Krishna was his internal energetic manifestation of his pastimes with the cowherd girls. His pastimes with the gopis are all displays of transcendental existence, bliss, and knowledge, although these are manifested apparently as sex love. The specific attraction of his pastimes with the gopis should never be misunderstood. The Bhāgavatam relates these transcendental pastimes in the 10th canto. In order to reach the position and to understand the transcendental nature of Lord Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, the Bhāgavatam promotes the student gradually in 9 other cantos. According to Srila Jiva Goswami's statement, in accordance with authoritative sources, Lord Krishna is the source of all of the incarnations. It's not that Lord Krishna has any source of incarnation. All the symptoms of the supreme truth in full are present in the person of Lord Sri Krishna. And in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord emphatically declares that there is no truth greater than or equal to himself. In the stanza, the word Swayam is particularly mentioned to confirm that Lord Krishna has no other source than himself. Although in other places the incarnations are described as Bhagavan because of the specific functions, nowhere are they declared to be Supreme Personality. In the stanza, the word Swayam signifies the supremacy as a Samam Bonam. The Samam Bonam, Krishna is one without a second. He himself has expanded himself in various parts, portions and particles as Swayam Rupa, Swayam Prakasha, Tathikatma, Prabhava, Vibhava, Vilasa, Avatara, Avesha, and Jivas, all provided with innumerable energies just suitable to the respective persons and personalities. Learned scholars in transcendental subjects have carefully analyzed Samam Bonam. Krishna has 64 principal attributes. All the branches or categories of the Lord possess only some percentages of his attributes. But Sri Krishna is the possessor of the attributes 10%, and his personal expansions such as Swayam Prakasha and Tadagatma up to the categories of the avatars, whereof Vishnu Tattva possess up to 92% of these transcendental attributes. Lord Shiva, who is neither avatara nor avesha nor in between them, possess almost 84% of the attributes. The jivas, or the individual living beings in these different stages of life, possess up to the limit of 78% of these attributes. In the conditioned state of material existence, living beings possess these attributes in very minute quality, varying in terms of the pious life of the living being. The most perfect of living beings is Brahma, the supreme administrator of one universe. He possesses 78% of the attributes in full. All the demigods have the same attributes in less quantity, whereas human beings possess the attributes in very minute quality. The standard of perfection for a human being is to develop the attributes up to 78% in full. The living being can never possess attributes like Shiva, Vishnu, or Lord Krishna. The living being can become godly by developing the 78% transcendental attributes in fullness, but he can never become a god like Shiva, Vishnu, or Krishna. He can become a Brahma in due course. The god living beings who are all residents of the planets in the spiritual sky are eternal associates of God in different spiritual planets called Haridham and Maheshdham. The board of Lord Krishna above all spiritual planets is called Krishnaloka or Golok Vrindavan. And the perfected living beings, by developing 78% of the above attributes of fullness, can enter the planet of Krishnaloka after leaving the present material body. Okay, good. Everybody still got attention. Yeah, so this is a very important verse, and you can see from the translation alone how much emphasis Prabhupada has put into it. So when we talk about, so this chapter alone is actually called Krishna is the source of all incarnations, and so this verse is known as the Emperor verse, as in it's explaining to us that Krishna, while these other incarnations are worshipable, they're important, Krishna is the source. Krishna is where we need to rely on if we are to ultimately go back to what we understand is the topmost planet. For example, spiritual planet, Golok Vrindavan. And within this chapter, 22 major incarnations have been explained. Can we think of some of the major incarnations?
Well, there's single name obvious.
Yes. So yeah, so that's a good example. Any more? Śrīram, yes. Matsya, very good. Yeah. So yeah, it's good. I'll start with Nrsimhadev. We had Nrsimha Chaturdashi recently. We personally all worship here Nrsimhadev. We ask him for his protection. We venerate him for the way he protected Prahlad Maharaj, the way he protects all of us. And so we shouldn't be confused that because we worship Lord Krishna, we look down on or we disregard other incarnations. We worship them as well. They are just not only worshipable, there's much we can learn from them as well. Yet, Prabhupada, in his mercy, he wanted to make sure that we didn't lose our focus as such, that these other incarnations, they are like Lord Ram is very amazing. The qualities are incredible. You can become attached to him, and it's understandable that you'd want to worship Lord Ram. So it's important that we understand that Krishna is the source. We focus on the source. If we become distracted, we'll go back to Lord Ram's abode. We'll go to Ayodhya in the spiritual world, rather than Golok Vrindavan in the spiritual world. So, in the first line of this verse, Ete Chamsha Klaha Pumsa, is explained that all the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portion of the Lord. Plenary portions mean absolute portions. So these 22 major incarnations I talked about, these are the plenary portions. So famous verse would be Paritana Sadhana Vinishya Chaduskritam Dharmastapa Pranarthaya Sambhavapa Yuge Yuge. These incarnations come to protect the devotees, protect the theists, and vanquish the atheists, the demonic, shall I say, and re-establish the religious principles. So that's what these major incarnations are about. But beyond that, there are also portions of the plenary portions. So these, as explained in the previous verse, these typically refer to the Shakti Vaishnavas, which are innumerable in number. So in the previous verse, it's been divided into Avesha and Vibhuti. Avesha are more powerful than Shakti Vaishnavas, Vibhuti are less powerful. So in that way, we're looking at it as in the Lord is constantly looking after us, whether directly in terms of his incarnations himself, or through his empowered beings. I'll give the example of during the first Manvantara, Swayambhuva Manu, everything's happening at that point, so he needs help. So Lord Indra position, which is typically the demigod's position, is taken by a living being. In this time, his position is taken by Lord Vishnu as Lord Yagya. So, because he needs help, the Lord himself is helping him personally. So my point being there is that this is when you talk about Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada explained to us this is a spiritual science, it's not just sentiment. So the Lord is constantly looking after us no matter what. He'll personally take on responsibilities when there's no one available. Same with Lord Brahma's situation. If there's no Lord Brahma fit to take care of that position, Garbha Vishnu will personally take over that position himself. So he will never left alone. He'll make sure that everybody is looked after no matter the situation. So then I'll move on to the next line. So Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. So I'll ask you, who is God? What do you understand by God? Go ahead. Say something? No? Okay. Okay, so God, the simplest example, the most pertinent point in this is God can be understood as Bhagwan. You want to say something?
I'm just going to say, do you mean God or do you mean Bhagwan? What you said?
Yeah, God, I mean Bhagwan. So in this, the purport explains that God, or should I say Bhagwan, is full in 6 opulences: fame, strength, renunciation, beauty, knowledge, and detachment or renunciation. Now, some men might believe they're full in strength. Some people might, crazy think they're very strong. Some women might think they're full in beauty, but exceptionally beautiful, and everything. But nobody can claim to be full in 6 opulences. You can, if you think you're very strong, you're not going to think you're very detached. You accept that only Krishna, or should I say only Bhagwan, can claim to be full in 6 opulences. And so the confusion comes because sometimes Lord Nrsimha will be called Bhagwan, sometimes Lord Ram will be called Bhagwan. And it's not wrong necessarily to call them Bhagwan as such. But the one who shows the full attribute, that is Krishna. He is Bhagwan Swayam. Swayam as in, that established that the one who's in charge is a person as a person. And in the previous line, Pumsa says the supreme. So the person in charge is the supreme person. And to start Krishna is the supreme person. Krishna is the absolute truth. So that's an important part there. What do you understand as the absolute truth? And I will ask you, probably for example, ask you, what do you understand as the absolute truth?
There is nothing beyond.
Nothing beyond? What about you, Prabhu?
Nothing beyond Bhagwan.
Okay. So absolute truth is nothing beyond. Everything manifests from this particular person, or should I say, the Lord he's the Lord of us. Everything comes from him. He's the source. Everything manifests from him. He is the controller. He is the absolute truth. Now, an important verse here to explain more of that is actually the first verse of Bhagavatam, 1.1.1. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadhyasya Yito Navaya Vitaratish Jagdish Nigya Swarat. So starts with, I pay my best to Lord Sri Krishna, Son of Vasudeva, all pervading personality. I meditate upon you because he's the absolute truth. How is the absolute truth? Because he's Swarat. Swarat meaning fully independent. How is he fully independent? There's no cause beyond him. He's the cause of all causes. Then later on it's Dene Brahma Hridaya Adhikavaya. It was he who imparted knowledge into the heart of Brahmaji. He was the first, only he, the original living being. So that's further, and later on it says Dhavna Swena Sadhanirasta Guhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. He resides in his eternal abode, which is free from any material change. He is the absolute truth. So that, first, again, this is ports of Prabhupada in our lives. He puts so much emphasis into these verses that we can't, if we're confused, we come back to these verses. This explains to us Who is the absolute truth? It's Krishna. Don't get confused. Yes, we worship Mr. Mahadev. Yes, we worship Lord Ram. Yes, we're grateful for their association, their blessings. But Lord Krishna is where we're heading towards. This is who we depend upon. So that's the beauty of it, that we don't allow ourselves to become sentimental. We obviously have sentiment, but we don't, not pure sentiment, it's going to be a bit of both. So my next question is, people would actually wonder, why should I care about Krishna? After I've told you all this, but people still question, why should I care about Krishna? Okay, so why do you think you should care about Krishna?
This is the source of everything.
Source of everything, yeah. So you accept that He's the source of everything. So what does that mean for us? We are interlinked to Krishna. We are His part and parcel. So if we are His part and parcel, some might confuse themselves and think that they have the right to just abuse this world. We're His part and parcel. We can do whatever we want. We're His children. But this world is His property, not our property. His property. And do you know what type this property is? What's a better description of this property? It's a prison. Durg, exactly. So that's the crazy thing. Think of it this way. We're not trespassing on just any old property. We're trespassing in the prison. Imagine that, if somebody broke into the prison, think, what's wrong with you? And worse is that we have no real reason to be here, kind of justifiable reason. Now, for example, if Prahlad Maharaj, he could maybe argue that, he has the strength that he could say he's going to take us all back. He's going to take everyone back with him. He can argue that. We don't have that strength. Yet we're crazy enough to come into this material world and deny ourselves the shelter, the blessings of Lord Krishna. We were happy there, but for some foolish reason we're here. So now we've got to try and get our head straight and realize we need guidance. And so the famous verse would be Tadvidi Pranipatena Parishna-Sevayā Pradikshantite Jnanam Jnanitatvadashnaha. Just humbly inquire from a spiritual master. The self-realized souls can instruct you because they have seen the truth. So we need to get on this path. This is a verse actually, Prabhupada did this to, explain Krishna as the source of all creation, Krishna as the utmost. But actually, this also explains the importance of Prabhupada to us as well. So I'll move on to the next line. Indrari Vyakulam Lokam. So Indrari meaning Indrari, enemies of Indra. So who's Indra?
These enemies are our enemies.
Okay, you skipped ahead, but fair enough, yeah. So Indra means enemies of Indra. Indra is the king of the heavens, king of the demigods. The demigods are not only are they do that function, they're servants of the Lord. If someone is a servant of the Lord, that means they're a devotee. So we don't just talk about Indra Adi as enemies of demigods, enemies of the devotees. So the issue here is we have become consumed by self-interest. Self-interest is demonic mentality. That's when we go wrong. So it's not only outward demons you have to deal with. Say, like, for example, any of you in book distribution, you might have to deal with somebody who goes a bit crazy, a bit wild, whatever, doesn't like it. That's one thing. But for this age, the real issue is the internal demon. So I'll give the example, even though it's from a previous age, but he suffered from internal demon, demonic thinking. It was Kamsa. So one minute, he's taking his sister Devaki and her husband, Vasudeva, he's riding a chariot, he's so happy, my sister's married, personally driving as a king, personally driving the chariot. But then he hears from the voice from the skies, her son will kill you. Mind goes completely crazy. He doesn't think, wait, why is he going to kill me? Have I done something wrong? Can I rectify this? No, he's nothing worried about that. He's like, okay, Devaki, it's time for you to go. Straight away, that's demonic thinking, self-interest. No, can I fix this? What have I done? That is the kind of thinking we need to guard against. We start thinking like that, that's where we go off. This is the plot completely. We don't want to be like Kamsa. We want to be a devotee, we want to be thinking about Krishna, what Krishna needs from us, how we can serve him. So again, the great verse in this is from Bhagavata-Sevayā, Sarvadharma Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sattva Bhavabhyo Moksha Shyami Shuchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me, as Krishna says. I will deliver you from all sinful actions, do not fear. Krishna has laid the plan out for us. Just do this. It's our own problem that we're not willing to just take advantage of the process. Now, thankfully, we have Prabhupada in this sense, because the next line, Mridayanti Yuge Yuge, as in the Lord gives protection in different ages. Now, Prabhupada is the greatest example for us in that sense, because Prabhupada, even at a senior age, was ill, frail. He came over from India, Bharat to the US, and it's thanks to his mercy that we're all here today, actually. Yeah. So what gave Prabhupada the strength to do this? On the one hand, you say because he was fulfilling his Guru Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's order to take Bhakti to the West. But so Prabhupada, being a pure devotee, he had full faith in the protection of the Lord. He understood that pure devotees don't see themselves as pure devotees, but they understand that if I know that Krishna reciprocates the loving devotional service. So Prabhupada was completely devoted to Krishna, and he understood that the pure devotee gets his special attention and his special protection. So he was fearless. That's the kind of what we need to aim towards. We need to be fearless. That whatever Krishna wants, we will do it. We will, if you want, like Prabhupada's disciples are amazing, and I think there's one couple who they went off to China. They don't know speaking in Chinese, don't know anything. The Prabhupada said, married them off, said, go and spread Krishna consciousness in China. Like, wow. That is total faith in the Guru, total faith in Gauranga. So that's the incredible situation that we need to do. We need to realize that we're in a perilous situation in this material world. But if we take advantage of the Lord's mercy, we can get to the point where we will be fearless, we will be completely devoted to the Lord. Whatever happens, we're fine with it because we know that's Krishna's desire. So what mercy can rely on this yuga? There's a lot of mercy. There's the Nama Rupa Avatara, there's the holy name you can rely on. Some of you are doing it right now. You're relying on the holy name, chanting the holy name. That focuses the mind, puts your soul in line with Krishna. It's explained that with the pure devotees, with the more advanced devotees, so for example, for us, it's Paramatma is guiding the Atma. For them though, Krishna guides the Atma. There's a transformation there. So we can have that association, that relationship, if we get to that point. And so how do we get to the point? We chant the holy name. We take advantage of what we're doing today as well. We take advantage of Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam explained in verse 40 is the literary incarnation of the Lord. So in verse 43, it was Krishna Swadhamopagate Dharma Gyana Devisaha Kala Nishta Drisham Esha Pura Narkodunoditaha. This Bhagavad Puran is the building of the sun and has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to this dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Puran. So it's explained that Krishna, so his Bhagavad Gita ends in Dwapar Yuga. So naturally people think, what do we do now? Krishna's gone. Now Krishna's not gone. Krishna has given us a Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam to us. This is, if you're feeling confused, you're feeling lost, rely on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam to give us vision. It's compared to the brilliance of the sun. So just think how dependent are we on the world, how dependent we are people on the sun. We have the sun, which freezes to death very much straight away. So that's how dependent we are on Bhagavad Puran. It's completely dependent on its glories. And it's also one of the 5 limbs of Bhakti. Okay. Everybody know what's 5 limbs of Bhakti?
Some of it.
Some of it. Okay, I'll ask you then.
Sorry, what's the question, sir?
Reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam,
Reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1 yes.
residing in the
Residing in holy
One
places,
place,
deity worship,
daily worship.
chanting the holy name.
chanting the holy name. Go on, last one.
Doing the seva.
Association of devotees. So that's the thing. So here, take ISKCON commentary for example. You have you do have that deity worship. Here you've got Shri Shri Shaktinandan, Nitai Chand. They personally blessing you with their mercy. So like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a special incarnation for this age. You personally are feeling that mercy from him. His mercy is so merciful. He gave us Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Bhagavatam was lost to the world. He reestablished Bhagavatam. So that is, we need to just take advantage of mercy. That's the point. If we don't take advantage of mercy, that's when we put ourselves in a parrot situation. That's when we end up in foolish points. And then you come back, the whole cycle keeps going. Birth, death, old age, disease. Now, people aren't afraid of birth because births happen. There's nothing you can do about it. Old age, okay, that's old age part of the situation. Even disease, think, okay, I'll get some good medicine, I'll be okay. Death, though, everyone's scared of death whether you like it or not. It's always some bit of fear of death. But death is not scary when you're a pure devotee, when you're like Prabhupada, because you're automatically guaranteed to go to Golok Vrindavan anyway, because you're already in that transcendental mood. You're already deeply associated with Krishna. And so this is why this verse is so important for us, because we need to be completely locked in with Krishna. When we are completely locked in with Krishna, not only can we advance, not only can transcend the modes, but we can help others do it as well. That's the beauty of the Sankirtan movement. It's not just for yourself, it's for everyone. And when you do that, then you get a wonderful temple like this as well. Very good. So I'll finish on that unless there are any other questions. Sampradayas, respect the devotees, and serve Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Round of applause for the lovely class. Please keep coming and giving us classes and Saturdays. And sometimes even on a Sunday, yeah. Oh no, I mean you tell me I've got a day because